Good morning, everybody. My name is Ipshit Chopra, and welcome to my podcast number 3. So, this is the last podcast on this journey in management and leadership in my MBA course here in UNH with Professor Jonathan Mays. And this podcast is kind of important because we have been basically developed by Mr. Mays to be a leader. And how can you be a leader if you can't lead teams? So this podcast is specifically diverse towards leaders who can lead, who are leading teams currently in the world situation. So right now I have with me Mr. Manish. He is a India operations manager for a company called Starpipe. Sir, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hey, good morning, Ipshit, and thanks for having me here. And really happy to introduce myself. I had the plants in India, and I had a team of 130 engineers, and I had a team of 550 workers working for me. And we are a 100% export-oriented unit, exporting uh, total products to Canada and our DCs in the United States of America. We've got a total technical operation, a supply chain setup, and this place is quite busting. As India is opening up to be a manufacturing hub, so we have shifted to India currently. Yeah.
I see. So before
Basic shit. You
this,
can go ahead.
thank you. So before this, just to confirm, you were in China, if I'm not wrong, right? You were heading the
Right.
operations in China?
Right. I was heading operations in China, which were like more of a technical role, and happen to be working in China is a different work culture. When you change countries, when you change borders, the work cultures happen to be different, and you have to adjust to a leadership style which the local fabric can accept. And that's a very important point because a local fabric working in a language, understanding them, and okay, even if I'm an Indian, I'm in a different state from where I was. So understanding the fabric here, how the people take things, and how they are reacting, and how they accept your leadership. So basically, if you are accepted as a leader, you are a leader. So I feel it's been a pretty successful journey till now, and I believe it will be a beautiful journey ahead.
I see. I just have a personal question right now. So, which country do you like to lead more as a leader? I know it's a very weird question to ask because, as you said, different countries have different cultures. So, which one would you like? Would do you prefer as a personal level?
Oh, there's no preference. The basic preference is the operation and the goal what you've been put on.
I see.
So a leader has to excel in any field and every field where he is put to.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be that he or she selects the way he wants to. Because if you're working in a comfort zone, then you're not a leader. I don't believe. I always believe a leader is always in a war zone, so with his soldiers fighting for him and he winning the battles. So a leadership role is mostly on the bit. I preference my preference for any of the sites. I never think, but yeah, having been in China for a very long time, so I enjoy the food and everything there. So yeah, sometimes I miss China.
I see. I totally understand. And so, yeah, I understand your point. The show must go on because at the end of the day, you're a leader. You're trying to get the goal out for the team and to go forward in for the company as well. So now on to the main question. Sorry, I just sidetracked a little bit. So, how would you describe your leadership role within your company? I know you've talked about this a little bit already. So, would you like to elaborate on that a little bit, sir?
Okay. Um, I'll tell you that when I came to this operation here, it was like I was just moving on a vacation. And then when we started the operations, uh, it became so important and so valuable that we had to shape our supply chain and manufacturing to this part of the world. And I started with 4 engineers and 10 workers, and that was the plan. But then it changed upside down, a total 360, and now the numbers I'm having is 130, and we're still growing, and we are still doing an expansion. So uh, we are looking for a major expansion going around. We are looking for a major production hall going around. It becomes it if you are able to lead a team, and if your organization is not changing too many leaders in a given period of time, that shows your confidence in your organization's confidence in you.
Mhm.
And that gives you a big hit that, okay, you have to work, and you're working in the right way.
I see.
At the second time, your team growing up below you and the turnover of the employees being lesser, and more people interested to join in, that shows that what leadership you have a chance been given by your management to you, you are delivering that.
I see.
We have a very open leadership uh, program in our group, and we are like, we talk to everyone. We go to we go to the basic level. I will talk to the security guy. I will talk to everyone. So I enjoy the leadership program that way.
I see. I totally understand. So it's just like it is a more of a collaboration role right now, as of now, so that just understand every level of the job to perfect it. And it basically does. So as you were saying, does it like knowing that you're doing the right thing, so it motivates you even more in the future, right?
Right. For a leader, one thing is very important. It's the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
The feedback. And one is feedback, one is analysis. These are the two things which make you succeed. Now, if your feedback is from the management, if they are like, I management means my leaders, okay? If they are expressing their confidence and satisfaction in your operation, that means that part of the leadership is taken care of. The second thing is how you expand. Now, starting with four people and going to 550 workers and 130 engineers, you can just imagine the potential what this organization has picked up, and this is just in a matter of 2 years.
I see.
So this is second year of operation here. So that gives me a boost that, okay, I'm still not happy with the targets what I'm doing, but I know that my team can do more and more, and I talk to them daily. Then they express their confidence, okay, we can do more.
I see. I understand. So it's just like feedback is the key to being a perfect leader. So you know where you're
Feedback,
at is correct. Is correct. So you take
feedback and
feedback from
analysis.
both your peers and your leaders as well, right?
Sure,
I
yeah.
understand. That makes more sense. So that it's like you just know where you're at and it's all correct. I totally understand and I
Right.
agree with that. So going on to the second question is how do you motivate your teams to go forward? Because like you have set a target for your teams. So how do you motivate them to go and achieve that target? Is it through incentive programs? Because in our course we've talked a lot about incentives and stuff like that. But how is it that you personally do it, sir?
uh, for any team to succeed, the best thing is, what I feel is, if you want to win a battle, throw the soldier into the battleground with a gun and tell him that there is a bullet to be put in this, and he has to win the battle and come back. And first thing you have to tell him is that he's going to be the leader, not me, not the general. The soldier is going to be the leader, and the soldier is going to lead the battle. So the biggest motivation is, when I look forward for my team, I put my team players, my team, as there's a leader in everyone. Okay. So what I do is, I break my total operation into small leaders, and I tell them to lead the show. I give them the total flexibility of my style of operation with giving them limited financial decisions also so that they can take themselves. See, ultimately, what happens if you give someone, if you empower your team in the right way, having confidence in them, of course, okay, let them make mistakes. Let them make mistakes, no problem. But at the end of the day, you have to stand behind them. So if my one team makes a mistake, I don't I don't go blah on them. I'll say that okay, my one of my team made mistake, okay, and the entire teams we have a daily meeting, we have a morning meeting, and I don't put them okay, guys, you made a mistake. It's a learning for you, right? So what mistake you did, can you make it? Can you correct it? If you have a scope, they try to correct it, okay, and then you can see the tears in their eyes when they come to you that okay, they knew that they did a mistake, but now it is corrected and they have won the battle. So what I feel is when my team comes to me, we like create more leaders. Then what happens? In the 130 team, what I have, um, we have almost created 12 leaders, team leaders from the worker level. Now try to understand what I'm saying. We have studied worker level and their competence, and we have identified the leadership, okay. We made these workers as leaders in their respective areas. So what has happened is these people with the fine skills of the operational intricacies involved, now they become leader and they contribute to my team. So there's this is a very intricate way of creating a team. This is not going by books. If you see by books, no one will advise you to do this.
True.
But if you do it in a different way, where you have your team, you try to push them more, you try to bring them to a level, you take their salaries to a level, you bring them into a loop of a lower level management team. Then what happens? A competition in the plant starts, in the organization starts, that everyone sees a growth. Okay, I have a chance to grow. And ultimately, whatever you pay to anyone, growth also matters. So growth is what, makes everyone empower. So empowering and making them grow is what I've seen is my different style of leadership.
I totally understand. It's just like giving somebody the power, like who never really thought he would get power, but giving them the power because they know firsthand experience of how to operate the machinery or like the operation, like the lower level operations. They know firsthand, so they can give a perfect response and everything to it, to the same situation. It's not a normal thing to do, but I totally understand the variable in this. Like it makes sense. It actually does make sense in a real life situation.
Yeah. Things are difficult, but they have to come up that way.
I understand, sir.
So it's a totally out of book and approach. It won't go into the management lessons anyway.
Yeah, that is true. It won't. It will never come up.
It,
So
it yields results.
yes, I see. I have another question. You talked a little bit about this, like when conflicts arise between teams. How do you move them forward? Move past the conflict. As you said, some people, yes, own up to your own mistake, and then we try to fix it together. But if there's a team problem, so how would you go about this kind of issue?
Okay. If there's a conflict on the team and which is really growing serious, okay, there are 2 to 3 types of conflicts which can arise in a normal working class. One is the interpersonal relationship between the team members. One is the interpersonal relationship between the team members within the organization, within the periphery of the organization. One is the interpersonal relationship of the team members outside the organization when they are at home or something which is happening. So, and the third is the work pressure in which they have to deliver, then they have a problem. So every aspect needs a different treatment.
I see.
When it's a treatment for an interpersonal relation outside the company, that time you have to be very, very watchful and very, very cautious, because it might happen between two different genders.
Mhm.
So you have to be very, very careful in answering such a situation. You have to respect uh, the weaker sex, which happens to be a lady in that case. And then you have to pull those things in a way so that both don't lose their morale. And but if someone has crossed the dignity of the relationship, even outside the company, even outside the organization, yeah, then I will be the first guy who will take action against such people so that this doesn't contaminate the organization inside.
I see.
When it happens that, because a bigger organization, the bigger you grow, the bigger the interpersonal relationship cause problems, because everyone expects to be delivering. And when the pressure of delivering comes more, that time handling a conflict between two different teams is very difficult, because their operational roles are different. So at that time, I believe in top to bottom approach, because it is the bottom which is mostly contaminated and the top gets entangled into it. So that time, what my basic point is, I try to get the two of my managers in that zone, and have them understand the total situation. Within them, discuss if some procedure needs to be reworked or changed, that needs to be changed. But being a guy who has to deliver the material outside the company, and ultimately the customer has to be happy, my first priority happens always to be covering that the show should not stop. So in a way, it to make a win-win situation for them, then answer the conflict is always my first priority. Yes, for the guys who do out of box thinking and who bring totally different ways of operations, very, very clear, very clean on them. Yes, you have to have an incentive program, and we have a very defined incentive program. If someone brings to the a change in the process or procedure, which helps the company, then we give them a special incentive, and that goes as a point for their next promotion also.
I see. I understand. So like incentives is just not for the money, but it's also for looking to your future, basically. I
Yeah,
get it.
right.
I understand your point of view on how to like move your team forward to conflicts, and I totally agree with the point that if an interpersonal relation thing happens, it you have to look forward. You have to do it in a very delicate manner because it can affect the company, but you also have to look at the company first because that's your first priority, right?
Right.
I see. I totally understand. So you talked about this like leaders.
You see, there's something behind you,
This one?
which says winners, right?
Yes, it does. It's for
Which
the
says winners, right?
yes, sir.
And
It's
then you have a bigger team there, right?
yes, it's the Champions League last year, Chelsea.
My concept is like this, okay? That that part, winners, everyone's face should be there.
I
Even
see.
if I don't have my face there, but my team should have my face there.
Oh,
Because the coach is always outside. I understand it's a game, something
yeah,
like
it's
that.
a
Okay.
Champions League football game this year.
Okay. You will never find the coach coming in and taking the trophy.
That is true.
Because if his team wins, he has won the game. He has won the match. That's it.
I agree, and I totally
That's
understand.
lovely.
I
Yeah.
understand your point, sir. So, yes, that's a great point you bring up. I just had another question. So you talked about you choosing leaders from other areas as well, from your company. So what is like a characteristic that you look for when you choose this leader?
Okay. The leader, when he has to be chosen, um, there are two to three things you have to look at very clearly. One is whether his profile matches to what you are expecting him to do.
Mhm.
The first thing is profile. Then, while taking his profile, you have to see his growth path, how he has taken his growth path. Okay.
Mhm.
If he is a guy who has taken it from the down to up, I will always prefer a guy like that because then he knows the total operational details or what he has to do. Third, very important, is how many skips he has taken. If the skips have been very frequent, that every year he is taking a skip,
Mhm.
then he's not a skipper, he's a jumper. So we don't need jumpers. So we need skippers. And when the skip comes, they have to be very, very gradual. I can understand that every guy in an organization will have a chance when he feels now there is no growth. So I need people who feel that there is no growth but are still ready to perform to be in my team because I can work more with them.
Mhm.
I can work effectively with them because then I am a person and my organization is a place. My directors are like this that they are the guys who will always tell them that okay, we want such people and we want to empower them and we want them to perform. And believe me, we have yielded magical results. I have guys who have been working in Korea. I have guys who have been working in Nigeria working with me, and they say we are working in a better atmosphere.
I see.
So selecting a leader is very important. If you select one wrong person at that particular location, the show will be disaster. And handling those disasters, believe me, will land up to major working time of yours.
Mhm.
So that needs to be worked on. That needs to be cleared on.
I agree. I understand. Thank you. That was a great answer. Like that was, I totally understand your point on that. So now it's something you've already said, but what is one thing that makes you extremely proud in your work life?
Uh, what is one thing which is very proud? Yeah. Um, the point is that the location where I'm currently working,
Mhm.
I'm really proud of this location because, as I told you, we were nowhere. And in last May, we were doing some 22 containers. And this last month, we did 132. So a growth of six times in just a year time. You can just imagine what type of a growth it has taken up.
I see.
And setting up this small little operation here, which I call with 500 people, with the growth levels I'm looking at, I feel proud of working and leading at this place. And what makes me more proud is that from a leader manufacturer in leading manufacturing in this country, in this part of India, I got a call from their director telling me what special you are doing, which we are not doing, that people in this area want to work for you.
I see.
What is that special thing?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this group, I cannot name them because I don't
I
want to do
understand.
that. I'm sorry for that, but this group is in this country for last 60 years.
And they still can't get to that
So,
potential that you've done in 2 years' time.
that makes me proud. And every day, my people produce more.
Mm.
So for me, every day is a proud moment. And even if on the days they don't do it, but they feel it that we were not able to do,
Mhm.
we were not able to do 10 containers or maybe 12 containers a day. I feel that in their eye, the thing, oh, they were not able to perform that day. That is more than enough. That makes me very proud. And I'm a proud dad. I'm a proud husband. Uh, I'm a proud son. Uh, so my family around me makes me proud, and my family of 500 people in the plant,
Yeah,
my family of 130 engineers in the plant, they all make me proud.
I understand.
So when I see their eyes, every moment is a proud moment for me.
I get it. So, like, I just wanted to confirm. So it's 22 containers per month to 136 per month now?
It's 132,
32 per month?
132,
Oh,
132
132. Wow.
per month.
That is a big growth in just less than a year, especially in India,
Yeah,
where like it's not easy to get a manufacturing firm up with like such a short notice.
right.
That
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. We
amazing,
are
sir.
in the yeah. I still have on my gate 50 to 60 people, expecting them that they will be hired. So
Ooh,
that is the volume which we look on.
I see.
So it's a proud thing that what you deliver is proud. But if you ask me internally, I'm still not very proud because I want to go to that location or that level of maybe 300 containers a month. That day I will be very proud of myself.
I get it. I get it. You can never be just happy at where you are. You always have to go for that one step higher, so that you
Yeah.
don't
So
like get yourself comfortable. As you said, a leader should always be outside their comfort zone. So yeah.
you should be proud of yourself. You should be proud of your integrity.
Yep.
You should be proud of your work. You should be proud of your knowledge, but you should not be proudful of all of them.
I see. You should
So
always
if you're
separate them.
proudful, so yeah,
I get
there's
it.
no chance that you just get on top of them and sit, because then everything will go off someday.
Yes, sir. I totally understand. So this is my last question. I know we've taken a bit too long time. Sorry about that.
No,
Uh,
no,
so my
never
last
mind.
question to you is, now this is very important as your team leader. How do you gain the trust of your team when you're starting to lead? Because a trust is one of the most integral parts of any team. Like if you don't have trust within a team, it's impossible to perform well, even if you're like the best engineers in the world.
Right. There are two trusts. One is the trust which I give to my superiors, that okay, this is my team which will deliver. Okay. And it is for them to keep on giving me orders and sales orders, so that my team here keeps on growing. Then it is for my exact team which I look and I take care of. I take care of them, like I was just saying, in the case of conflict. I take care of them outside office. I take care of them inside office. And when I take care of them inside offices, I will recognize guys, I will recognize people, I recognize teams, and then I'll put them on incentives so that they know that they're going to do things on which they will be paid back,
I see.
right? The third and the most important thing is I don't
Um, Sorry, I guess there's just a network issue.
hmm,
Yeah. Sorry about that. There was a network loss, so we're back. Yeah.
yeah. So what I mean to say is trust is very important, and trust has to be on both sides. They have to give you trust, and you have to give them trust. And like I rightly said, that I don't believe in hire and fire policy, because that is the most important trust. Because a person who is having a confidence that he will not lose his job, or who will not lose his wages, who will not lose his post, who will not lose his pride. If you take care of everything, you win trust of your team.
I see. I agree.
So that point is very important.
I totally
And
understand.
that doesn't mean you have to close your eyes because there are some bad moles. So you have to keep them always on their toes. Okay, guys, you are being watched, you are being observed. Trust is a different thing. You cannot always trust, but you have to build trust. Trust has to be bought in the company. That okay, I don't need more money. There are some people who are bad who think about money. They'll get some extra money from somewhere. The purchase guys, these or somewhere will a bad element from outside will come try to, you know, do things which are not required for the company. But then that time there should be something behind their mind that my organization takes care of me in a better way
Hmm.
than this person, and my organization will take me number of years more if I work here. I have a chance to go, I have a chance to earn. So that trust you give them, and believe me, they will return back everything to you.
Wow. I I couldn't agree more, sir.
Right.
Okay, so thank you so much. It's been a bit too long. Sorry about taking up half an
Oh,
hour.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
okay.
lastly, I just
Just
wanted.
keep your poster. Just if you can send me that poster, it will be very good for my team.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
I shall send it to you right away. And
Right.
lastly, so this is for the MBA class. So would you like to say a few words for the class of 23, how like for their future?
Hi, friends. Hi, everyone. And this is Manish here. And I would like to tell you guys everything that uh, we have been discussing about leaders. And in your future, you're going to be leaders somewhere. And the basic point, what's going to come on your leadership is that you're going to achieve. So, first, learn, analyze everything. So maybe the first few years of your employment with any of the corporations, you have to learn everything. You will find your you will find your boss telling you, get me a photocopy of this.
Hmm.
Agreed. Go and do it, because that time you will learn how the photocopier works. That time you will learn how things work. Everything comes to you. That time you will learn how the stationery is kept, how the papers are kept. I'm giving a very small example.
Hmm. I agree.
You grow bigger, then more finances are involved. You learn how to manage finances. The only thing of putting a leadership amongst you, and I wish you all of you the best luck. Keep tab on the money which is going to come in and which is going to go out of the company. So going out money should be as small as possible, and coming in should be as big as possible. So these two graphs have to be very, and then this difference is what you take home. So just imagine what you're, so whatever goes out of the company, control it to the
Hmm.
last, to the last.
Yes, sir.
And whatever is coming in, just keep on increasing. So it should be like this. If they start like this should be keeping
As
on smaller, and this should be like growing. So the difference here is what you are giving to your organization, and that difference is your leadership skill.
wow,
So I
wow.
wish you all the best. Keep trust and keep in believing in yourself. That's the best part. And keep on learning. Learn the smallest thing. Learn the smallest thing. Learn the smallest thing.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you,
Okay, guys.
sir.
I wish you all the best. Have a very nice time.
Thank you
Thank you.
so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
Ifshit. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for having me.
interviewing. Thank